All right, so I want to use this opportunity to address a very beautiful case. And I also want to thank my brother Danfo Wahala, who brought this to my notice. He said, Lord Uzih, my very good brother, I think you should dedicate time to make a video educate your followers on the affairs of life and death and the fact that people literally actually experience death before the actual death. There is a remedy for dying on time. Yes, let's not be too relaxed or feel disappointed that we've passed the era where men live old. There's been a shift in the context of the matter of longevity within the African spirituality, in the sense that we blame the reason why people die on time just solely on depression, the food we eat, the society, the polluted air, and the rest of. Yes, they may have some ripple effect to whether we are going to live long, but I have the codex to long life, and I've done the ritual with some few of my members. But let me say this. Before a man truly dies, he had already experienced death. There is something that happened in the spirit realm, and I make you understand that according to the African pathology or African spirituality, there is a God that is responsible for escorting you from this plane to the next plane. They call him the God of the funeral, the God of the dead. And he's one of the gods I worship. Here, one of the gods I reverend. One of the gods I have same essence with, which is the god Anubis. I decided to put it on the screen for you to see. This is the god Anubis that comes and take your spirit away. Like I said, your soul is the energy. So your soul is what keeps your body alive even when your spirit is gone. Your soul is the generating set for your heart to keep beating. Your spirit is gone. You see cases of people that go into coma, their spirits are gone, hovering, just turning around. But this time around, it was not Anubis that came to carry the spirit away, or neither the spirit of death itself that came for it. You need to understand that the spirit of death worships the god Anubis. And you also need to know this. You need to know this, that the spirit of death worships Anubis. And to your greatest surprise, the spirit of death worships me. What it means is this. It literally can take permission from me before it takes a soul, especially if that soul or that, a soul, like I said, the spirit of death take your soul away because your soul is the generating set, the reason why your heart still beats, the reason why you are alive. But your spirit is your essence. It is what will be judged. It is what Anubis escorts to the elders, where you present your case, where your heart is weighed. Is it heavy or light? But your soul is the reason why you are alive. Let me tell you this. There are people that their soul is taken away, they are dead, but their spirit is still active. These are people that when they get to the mortuary, they sneeze. That sneezing is Anubis instructing the spirit of death. You can call it any name. Instructing the spirit of death to kickstart and restore life back. What you call life is your soul. And that is why even in contemporary English, we use the word, the soul of a thing is the life of that thing. But your spirit is your higher self. Your spirit is the reason why you are here with me. Your spirit is the one that guides you. Your spirit is the one that led you to this particular time to see this video. Your spirit is the reason why you are in the water religion. Your spirit is the reason why you are following me. Do you know that your spirit is the reason why you are going to insult me. Your spirit is the reason why you follow me. Your spirit is the reason why you're going to make that mistake. Because your spirit manifests its true nature. And when you find that true nature, even what you call a mistake no longer become a mistake. I'm not going to get there. I'm not going to touch that area. So, it's about my daughter whose brother died. And I made a post. A lot of you watching me, it's not a swear, it's not a cause. Your spirit is gone. The highest number of days that a spirit can be taken away from the body and the soul is a maximum 100 days. Yes, a maximum 100 days. Yes, a maximum 100 days. Because in the in our spirituality, in the spiritual world, days are numbered from 1 to 10. Either 1 or 10. Then within the days are days of worship and rest. 4 days, 4 days, 2 days of worship and rest. So it's that day 1 to day 10. So when they number your days, is day 1 to day 10. Now you see people who die 120, 110, 100, 50, 60. These are people that actually died. They were allowed to leave this world. They were allowed to leave this world to go to a better place. It doesn't mean that those who died 77, 23, they did not go to a better place. It just means that they left this world, number one, because of two things. It was not their time, or they were abruptly called to answer to a petition. Because all human beings are expected to die at the end of the day or the beginning of the day. So at the end of the day, it's either 50 years or the beginning of the day, which is what? The beginning of the number, which is what? 60. Now, a case where somebody died at 50 years, it could be that today is his birthday and 10 months, that is, a month is 10 days in the African spirituality. A month is 10 days. So he dies, when you calculate it, some of you can calculate the day your father died. You find out that from the day your father died down to the day he celebrated his last birthday, is going to either rhyme 10, 10, 10, 10, the 10th day, or not. If it is not, he was taken abruptly. He made a mistake at the hour of death or minutes of death. And in the ancient Kemetic text, in the ancient Sumerian text, there is an admonition, a warning that the great god Anubis Ra gave. And the instruction was this: for you do not know the hour when your soul will be taken away. It doesn't talk about when your spirit is taken away. The person that is in charge of your spirit is Anubis. So Anubis could call your spirit off, but your spirit has not presented itself. Meaning, Anubis may come and say, Agnes or so person, it's time for you to come. And you can beg Anubis, can you give me 90 more days or 30 more days? Let me rearrange and collect the whole of my body. The whole of your body is the different places you travel to, the people you had sex with, the people you made love with, the people you had the contact with, the people you had handshake with. You go and collect it. Where you left your phone, you begin to see who stole your phone. Those who took things from you, you start gathering everything. And then Anubis, we said, you have 30 days after gathering everything. Say, can we go now? He said, yes, I'm willing. Then you start following Anubis from places to another where he goes to collect what? Spirits. Until death comes and take your soul away. Majority of the time, not majority of the time, there are certain activities you pass on that pleases the spirit of death, and more days are added to you. Yes, more days are added to you. There are rituals you embark on. So even if your spirit is gone, more days are what? Added to you. Now, there are still rituals you can do that will appease Anubis from taking your spirit. And most the highest number of years you can do a ritual and you will have extra years or days is either 14 days, 14 years, either 14 years, 17 years, or 30 years. Meaning, if you are destined to die this year, when you embark on this ritual, which I've done with my members, it's called the death ritual. What are members? You guys remember the death ritual? Some of you didn't even understand what we were doing. We do it. I do it all the time in my house, and that is why I am so confident in the water and in great Anubis and the spirit of death that they will not come for any of my family member except they take permission from me. And so when you do that, well, the last one we did with my members, I think a few people who encountered, who did the ritual, about 6 of them, their rituals were not accepted. The following day, I had to go to the beach, do a ritual on their behalf. I pleaded, and their name were added to the longevity. And it was the spirit of my grandmother I summoned, and that of my grandfather from Ifode, my mother's side, I summoned to oversee or carry out the sacrifice down to the land of the spirit. Because when you embark on this longevity ritual, you will need an ancestor that lived the type of life you want to live. So my grandmother died about 114 or 9, if I'm not mistaken. My grandfather died about 140 something, if I'm not mistaken. So I was transferring the longevity of those people to my members. And do you know that one of the members that I went ahead to go and do longevity ritual for, about 2 of them are no longer with me. They've left. Yes, they've left. And this is what we see as spiritualists, where we put our life on the line for people. Now, how do you know if your time to leave this world has come? There are several signs. And if you guys are interested in knowing the signs, let me see it on the comment below. And I'm not going to do it on the public. I think I should do it privately on Vov. We could just pick a date, fix a date, and then we can do that. But know this: no man dies except the spirit is taken away. And no man dies. If a man died today, that it is against spiritual law that Anubis take your spirit and death take your soul at the same time. It doesn't work. So when people die of accident, their spirit had already been taken. Like I said, in the spirit realm, they already see what will happen 100 years before we experience them. And some of you who are gifted, who are loved by the spirit, you are shown a bliss of what is going to happen. And when you guys use the word, my dream, they come to pass. Nobody dreams, no one dreams come to pass. You are only given a glimpse of what will happen, what will occur. There's no amount of prayer you're going to pray that makes a dream go away. If you dream of something, it must come to pass. It means it will happen. So what you can do is to do a certain ritual to protect yourself against that thing, or give out a message for the people to prepare themselves. So when it comes to life after death, it's a complex one, which for now I'm not be permitted to speak on it. And people can live long. People can live up to 100. Our ancestors know that. The old men washing me, you are old. You know you are 80 years. You have washed me. You know what you did. You know the ritual. You were told. You've encountered it. You were told. If you were not told, they did something to you when you were very young. That marked the carved on your hand, on this hand. That was the ritual. And you were aware of it. You didn't tell your children. You hid it. There are rituals you can do for longevity, and you will never die on time. You will die old age. It's called the death ritual. So I want to also use this opportunity to send my condolences to Jennifer, and then to say, may this beautiful spirit of your brother meet the ancestors, and then may he be among those who will raise the banner of your ancestors. And then for those of you who have lost someone, I pray that may their deeds take them to a place that they will look back down on earth and say, truly, I enjoyed my heaven, and now I'm in a better place. May the ancient waters and the ancient spirit protect you. May they provide for you. May they shield you from the eyes of the envious, both humans, animals, and spirits. Ashe.